Hi, I'm Sarah Tame, an Associate Director at the EDHEC Infrastructure Institute. EDHEC Infra is an academic research organisation that produces impartial research and performance benchmarks for investors in private infrastructure. Investors face an important question when they're investing in infrastructure. What is it and how do we define it? There is a lot of debate about the definition of infrastructure. For investors in private infrastructure, the current classifications are not adequate, making it hard to understand infrastructure performance in a multi-asset class context. Various definitions of infrastructure do exist. The OECD and World Bank use definitions based on public policy. Asset managers focus on broad industrial categories and core plus. These classifications don't reflect the risk profiles of infrastructure companies. Then you have the Solvency II and Basel III definitions of infrastructure that do focus on risk. EDHEC Infra has created the Global Infrastructure Company Classification. GICS is a multidimensional criteria for classifying infrastructure based on risk classification. It offers an alternative to investment categories that were inherited from the private equity and real estate universe, for example, core versus core plus, which may not be the most informative way of grouping infrastructure investments and designing strategies or simply documenting the structure of the sector. GICS aims to provide a classification for investment purposes and prudential purposes. GICS is designed to be compatible with other standard investment classification schemes, but also uses fundamental insights from the academic literature to create a classification that embodies some of the key aspects of infrastructure businesses' risk profiles. Based on 4 pillars, GICS takes into account the evolution of the infrastructure procurement landscape in space and time. So let me tell you about the 4 pillars. First, we have business risk classification, which takes into account the financial economics of infrastructure companies, in particular the role of contracts and regulation. Second, we have an industrial classification, which uses a very granular taxonomy of industrial activities, technologies, and asset-level characteristics that capture the potential diversity of infrastructure companies, services, and products. Third, a geoeconomic classification, which captures the degree of common economic exposure of different infrastructure companies. And finally, a corporate governance classification, which reflects the expected difference of behaviour between single project and multi-project infrastructure ventures. GICS can help investors define unlisted infrastructure. It can help investors build a diversified portfolio of infrastructure investments. GICS is robust. It's built on the basis of academic research about the financial economics of infrastructure companies. It's global. The range of categories available ensure that any private infrastructure company worldwide can be integrated into this framework, be it a regulated utility or a solar project company. It's risk-focused. While it aims to categorise companies on the basis of their face value characteristics, it focuses on groupings that are relevant to understand risk and play a role in asset pricing and portfolio construction. And finally, GICS is dynamic. Infrastructure companies evolve over their life cycle and with changes in national and sector regulation. The evolution of these characteristics play an important role in infrastructure investment. GICS is designed to evolve with the market. GICS is an important classification system that will help define and grow infrastructure as an asset class. EDHEC Infra aims to improve the transparency and efficiency of infrastructure investment with the launch of this international standard for defining infrastructure. Thank you very much.